more shockingly wasteful government spending, and spy planes on our southern border. It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert. Item number 5 today, DOGE. That's the Department of Government Efficiency. The team of 20-something tech nerds pulled together by Elon Musk. They've turned up another example of not just shockingly, but insubordinately wasteful spending by our federal government. A $59 million payment from FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to luxury hotels across New York City to house illegal migrants. Musk explained in a post to X, quote, sending this money violated the law and is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals, end quote. Musk didn't identify which hotels were getting funding from FEMA, but noted that a clawback demand will be made today, that would be Monday, to recoup those funds. Now, a report in December revealed that New York City politicians had spent $220 million, that's $220 million, in a sweetheart deal with the government of Pakistan to house illegals at the prestigious Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Now, that sounds weird, but in fact, the Roosevelt Hotel is owned by Pakistan International Airlines, which is a government-run entity. So, in effect, it was paying the government of Pakistan to house illegal migrants in Midtown Manhattan in a luxury hotel. This is outrageous. Taxpayers of the city of New York and city of New York then turning to the federal government and saying, hey, we didn't ask for these illegals. Well, except you did by declaring yourself a sanctuary city. But the bottom line here is that this tax money, whether it's coming from the citizens of New York or from Americans as a whole, when it was allocated to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, it was intended to benefit American citizens. And for FEMA, at the end of last year, under the Biden administration, to say, well, we've run out of money to help the victims of Hurricanes Helene and Milton in western North Carolina and in Florida, and then to turn around last week, under the Trump administration, and send it to New York. This is absolutely outrageous, and heads should roll. Speaking of outrageous, California's Governor Gavin Newsom on Friday signed 2 bills that allocate $50 million in state funds to fight President Donald Trump's policies. This is after Newsom returned from a trip to Washington, D.C. to ask for disaster relief funds from the federal government because of the disastrous wildfires there in California. If the Trump administration approves the disaster funds, and look, I'm okay with him doing it. I'm okay with helping out the people of California whose homes and businesses burned through no fault of their own, except for that a majority of them voted for the Democrats who run the state of California. But if the federal government sends disaster relief funds to California, it should also appoint an administrator or a special master to oversee how those funds are spent, given that the state of California figures it's got an extra $50 million lying around that could be used to benefit people whose homes and businesses have burned, to instead pay lawyers to fight the federal government. Topic number 4, Lebanon. Lebanon has a new government and Hezbollah is part of it. Prime Minister Nawaf Salam announced the formation of a new cabinet, a new government on Saturday, naming 24 ministers to his cabinet, including 5 allied with the so-called Shia duo of the Amal movement and Hezbollah. First cabinet session being held today, Tuesday. The successful formation of Salam's government came one day after U.S. Special Envoy to West Asia Morgan Ortagus declared during a news conference that Hezbollah would not be part of the Lebanese government, calling it a red line. We should probably stop using that term since red lines get crossed all the time and nothing happens as a result. It's like when you threaten punishment to a child. You don't follow up, but pretty soon it loses its meaning. Anyway, I digress. Even so, Lebanon's new cabinet split evenly between Christian and Muslim sects, including 5 ministries headed up by allies of Hezbollah and Amal. Topic number 3, spy planes at the border. Turns out that, and I talked about this yesterday, it was not a one and done deal, apparently. According to CNN, the sophisticated spy planes are flying missions regularly now since Donald Trump came into office to collect information on Mexican drug cartels' smuggling operations. In the past 2 weeks, CNN reports that these planes have flown at least 18 missions over the southwestern U.S. And on international airspace around the Baja Peninsula. Former military official with Homeland Defense told CNN the Pentagon has historically only flown about one surveillance mission a month down that way, but since Trump has taken office, he has escalated the use of military force to combat cartels, and apparently this includes the use of high-end signals intelligence gathering. One nearly 6-hour flight back on February 3rd was conducted by a U-2 spy plane. The U-2 is the high-altitude spy plane that's been in use since the Cold War, where it was used to collect high-altitude photographic reconnaissance of the Soviet Union. According to Border Czar Tom Homan, speaking to ABC News, quote, "I think the cartels would be foolish to take on the U.S. military, but we know they've taken on the Mexican military. Do I expect violence to escalate? Absolutely, because the cartels are making record amounts of money." End quote. They're not going to give that up without a fight. Topic number 2, the six-fingered woman. It's not the villain in a reboot of the old television series, The Fugitive. She's not related to the six-fingered man from The Princess Bride. No, this is a woman who's been excavated at an archaeological site west of Jerusalem, the site called Matzah. This woman from a site that dates back to the pre-pottery Neolithic B period. That's dated between about 8800 BC and about 5500 BC. Roughly contemporary with the construction and use of sites like Göbekli Tepe in southern Turkey and Karahan Tepe, where archaeologists have noted that a surprising number of the human figures represented in inscriptions at Karahan Tepe have 6 fingers. This is described as a characteristic by the archaeologists, the extra digit on her left hand, that was often interpreted as a sign of distinction and spiritual authority. They've dated this young woman to above the age of 15, but still relatively young. The question that Sharon and I have about this woman is there any evidence that she did not die of natural causes, that perhaps she was sacrificed because of that extra digit? Don't know. Going to have to read the actual paper. This excavation was done before the construction of Highway 16, which is the main highway that now connects Jerusalem to points west. So between 2018 and 2020, the paper just now being published. Again, just very interesting that this is contemporary to a site where depicting humans with 6 fingers up in Turkey was a thing. But it's also very interesting that it's not that far from a site just north of the Dead Sea called Telilat al-Ghassul, which is a Chalcolithic or Copper Age settlement that dates to about 4500 BC down to about 3800 BC. Again, just north of the Dead Sea, where a building with a wall painting, they were able to reconstruct it, using the flakes and using AI to assemble them, into a painting that's been dubbed the procession. Seems to show a religious ritual being led by a very tall man with 6 fingers. And what's even more interesting is that in our discussions with Dr. Stephen Collins, who's led the excavation at a site nearby in Jordan called Tal el Hammam, the site of ancient Sodom, that the site where the painting called The Procession was found, Telilat al-Ghassul, that settlement probably is the one that just moved up the hill and founded ancient Sodom. Very interesting. Coming up, Democrats have a cunning plan to put a stop to the work of Elon Musk and Doge. I will reveal all next on 5 and 10.
You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the four corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this incredible masterpiece when you order The World Before the Flood special offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Rick Renner's new book, Fallen Angels, Giants, Monsters, and the World Before the Flood, how the events of Noah's Ark and the flood are relevant to the end of the age, but it also includes the best-selling book, Giants, Gods, and Dragons, Exposing the Fallen Realm and the Plot to Ignite the Final War of the Ages by Derek and Sharon Gilbert with companion DVD. This incredible book and DVD set reveals the actual identities of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the identity of Nimrod, and the true location of Babel. Why the wild beasts that accompany the deadly rider on the pale horse might actually be disease-causing viruses, and so much more. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of nearly $100. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and help us continue spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ right now by scanning the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for The World Before the Flood special offer right now.
Item number one today, Democrats have a plan to stop Doge in its tracks, and hilarity ensues. See, in response to shut down various government agencies and slash waste, fraud, and abuse, Democrats are threatening to shut down the government. I'll wait for you to stop laughing. On Sunday, Senator Andy Kim of New Jersey suggested that Republicans looking to continue the government spending past March 14th. Now, they just kicked the can down the road last month with another continuing resolution. They're going to withhold their support, which would leave House Speaker Mike Johnson without enough allies to get another continuing resolution, which means that conservatives in the House will basically hold the government hostage until more spending gets cut, which is exactly what Trump and Musk and Doge are trying to accomplish. As legal analyst Jonathan Turley puts it, this is like threatening vegans with a beef ban. Well put. What is really strange is that Democrats in Congress, in Senate, who are screaming about what Doge is doing, seem to be crying harder about stopping the wasteful spending than about the wasteful spending. This week on Skywatch TV, we continue our discussion with Rick Renner about his book, Fallen Angels, Giants, Monsters, and the World Before the Flood. Fascinating scholar. You really should follow his work and his ministry. It's available on the internet. You find him on YouTube and elsewhere. But do get his book and take advantage of our special offer. I'm honored that Skywatch TV has opted to choose Sharon's and my book, Giants, Gods, and Dragons, to go along with World Before the Flood. You can see the program right now, which this week discusses the Euphrates River, which has been drying up. Levels are dropping. Is this prophetic? There is a prophecy in the book of Revelation that Euphrates dries up and the 200 million man or entity army crosses the Euphrates. Watch it now at skywatchtv.com, where you'll find all of our video content. You can watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. You can watch it right now on your set-top box. If you've got Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Fire Stick, a smart TV preloaded with Roku or Amazon Fire TV, please add the Skywatch TV channel. You can find it in their app stores, and we've got links at our website telling you how to do that at skywatchtv.com/app. You can watch it over the internet right now, youtube.com/@Skywatch Television. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit that like button. And you can also find us at Rumble, rumble.com/skywatchtv. But better yet, get it for your smartphone or tablet. Add that app. It is free, available for iOS, Android, Amazon, Kindle Fire phones and tablets, and bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech. Other features on it as well, and we got links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. We're on YouTube, 5 in 10, that is, youtube.com/@5in10. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button. And follow us on X at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.